The Game Awards are upon us, and Black Myth Wukong has been nominated for Game of the Year. Now, do I think it will win? Honestly, absolutely not. But to be fair, the vast majority of us thought that it was going to get snubbed, and now we've got the mainstream media basically stating that it shouldn't even be there because, well, why wouldn't they? They actually spent most of Black Myth Wukong's release talking about why the game wasn't that great of a game, because they just hate to see us happy. Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and if you hadn't heard, Black Myth Wukong doesn't deserve a Game Awards Game of the Year nomination, and here's why. Yes, they decided to write up an entire article about why this game, that sold over 20 million copies, might I add. It does not matter if the vast majority were in China. That's still a whole lot of copies sold, showing that there is a market for this sort of game. But yes, they decided to write an entire article stating why it doesn't deserve the nomination it got, when I think gamers the world over would unequivocally say that it absolutely does. So we're going to get into this article. Before we do, hit that subscribe button. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news almost every day. And if you didn't hate mainstream gaming journalism enough, here's just another reason to do so. Because, yes, we all know that they wanted the Dragon Age Veilguard game to have a nomination. I mean, I did a video earlier, if you didn't see it, about why Polygon is so outraged that the Dragon Age Veilguard didn't get a nomination. It was snubbed, as they put it. But no, here we have a game that had been clamored for years, mind you. I remember my friend Dragon Slayer Commentaries talking to us about Black Myth Wukong like 2 years ago. Yeah, it makes sense that it got this nomination, even if we didn't think it would come. A strong case can be made for Black Myth Wukong is not deserving of its nomination for a Game of the Year award at the Game Awards 2024. Earlier today, Wukong was revealed to be contending for Game of the Year at next month's Game Awards, alongside Astrobot, Balatro, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, and Metaphor Refantasio. Now, if you were going to make an argument for anything to not actually have a spot in the Game Awards, specifically for Game of the Year, it would actually be Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree. Not knocking it, I'm not knocking it whatsoever, but let's be real, it's not a game, it's a DLC. Now, do I personally have a problem with it being there? No, not really. It's such a massive DLC that it honestly does kind of feel like its own game. But it is still a DLC nonetheless. So if you're trying to make a case that Wukong shouldn't be there, where's your article saying why Shadow of the Erd Tree shouldn't be there as well? You're not making one. Why? Because it doesn't fit your narrative. It doesn't try and destroy and crumble and denigrate the game that gamers the world over have been looking forward to. It doesn't fit your narrative. Also, let's be real, the developers behind Elden Ring didn't shit on your worldview when it comes to DEI, when it comes to ESG, when it comes to shoving ideology in games the way that, you so aptly need them to do. And while there's no denying whatsoever that Black Myth Wukong has been one of the biggest success stories of 2024, it hasn't really achieved the same sort of critical acclaim towards such a nomination. And there it is. Bingo, bango, bongo. Now we're in it. Now you folks understand why it is they're upset. They're upset because, oh no, the voice of the gamers, the customers, the consumers, the fans are being listened to. How dare the fans be the one listened to for the Game Awards? Why, no, you should take Comic Book Resources or comicbook.com or The Gamer or Polygon or the Mary Sue or Kotaku or IGN. All of them matter far more than us actual gamers, us actual fans, all of us that, commentate on this and buy the products and play them and review them and stream them to our audiences or whatever it may be. No. Don't take what any of us have to say, even though the games are actually made for us. Listen to the access media. Listen to the games journalists that deride the game because, they're upset that there were no women in it, clearly showing that they didn't get very far in the game because you have a plethora of female characters from about chapter 2 and onward. That is the absolute hypocrisy and frankly the disgusting mentality of the individuals that run these sort of sites that have this level of access. The people that are going to be invited to the Game Awards. You're going to have schlubs like myself or Kata or Hypnotic streaming the Game Awards and making fun of them, but no. The Alyssa Mercantes of the world, the Logan Moore who wrote this article, these are the individuals that will actually get the invites to the Game Awards, and the fact that their attempts to smear this game have been blown off by the individuals of the Game Awards, the fact that they weren't listened to, it only got an 81 out of 100 on Metacritic, that has them up their own Erd Tree, and you kinda love to see it. When Black Myth Wukong launched back in August, it shattered all sorts of records. These records were specifically seen on Steam, where it became the most concurrently played single-player game on the PC platform. Now, you tell me, what matters more in your opinion? Whether the game was quite literally the most played single-player game on the entire PC platform, or whether or not it got good reviews, which, by the way, an 81 out of 100, still a pretty damn good review. Supposedly, it's the lowest ever reviewed game that has a Game of the Year nomination. But what does that matter? I mean, this article goes on to claim that the Game Awards don't matter, but can't we say the same about your frankly failing outlets? Like, let's be real. The only reason comicbook.com even exists is for us to laugh at you. You're not making any money here. You're not getting any traction. I mean, at least not any relevant, real traction. Sure, maybe you're botted your site, or sure, maybe you're able to use the numbers to convince investors that your site actually does make money, or to convince individuals, like advertisers, that your site makes money, so they'll, put ads on your channel, ads on your page. You'll be able to stay funded. People will continue to come here. But in all reality, when's the last time you heard somebody say, well, comicbook.com did in fact give this game a good review, so I'm going to go ahead and buy it? Yeah, it doesn't happen. You want to know what does happen? People listen to YouTubers like myself, or Hypnotic, or the Act Man, unfucking fortunately, or somebody awesome like Maximilian Dude, who do talk about how great certain games are, and they think, god damn, if Max Dude liked this game, maybe it's actually worth picking up. No. We are the media. We are the ones that sell games. Frankly, these companies making good games, when they do make good games, and then marketing them as such, are the ones that sell their games. You are nothing. You are ancillary at best. You do not contribute to the gaming zeitgeist beyond some sort of faux activism that you have for whatever ideologies implanted in these games that you must have, because at the end of the day, you are political sites masquerading as nerd sites. It has since gone on to surpass 20 million copies sold, and even assisted in driving sales of the PlayStation 5 even higher. Yes, the PlayStation 5, that dying console that frankly nobody wants, nobody wanted, that was sold out for ages upon ages because they couldn't actually manufacture the chips needed to get the console sold. Oh right, how's the PS5 Pro going? That PS5 Pro that was lambasted even by Alyssa Mercante because broken clocks are right twice a day. So yes, this game in its entirety, in its singularity, actually helped sell a dying PlayStation 5, a glorified paperweight. Without a doubt, Black Myth Wukong has been a resounding achievement and shows the power that games hailing from China might even have in years to come. Well then, bingo, bango, bongo. Seems like you've already made a pretty good case as to why it should be a Game of the Year contender. But no. Now you've got to sit here and make your argument, and your argument is the reviews weren't perfect. Like, that is actually what their argument boils down to. The reviews weren't very good. By the way, an 81 out of 100, still pretty damn good. I'm a big Resident Evil fan. I played a lot of Resident Evil games, and I must admit, even at least half, if not more, of the Resident Evil games don't deserve no goddamn 81 out of 100. Even with all that being said, though, Black Myth Wukong hasn't really been a critical darling that would lead one to think of it being in the conversation for a Game of the Year. Why do you think that critical reception matters when it comes to the Game of the Year? If we were talking about the Game of the Year, the ultimate apex of gaming, shouldn't it actually be on what the consumers decided, what the customers and fans decided? I mean, we're the ones that went out and bought this game and played this game and sang the game's praises. You would think the individuals that actually know about the game and were enthralled with it and helped it become one of the best-selling games of the year and the single most concurrently played game on Steam, yeah, I would weight that way higher than just the individual critic reviews when, let's be real, these same critics gave Dragon Ball Sparking Zero a 7 out of 10 on IGN. The same score they gave Dustborn and Concord. You know, Concord, the game that shut down after 10 days. Oh yeah, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is absolutely equal to that. Get out of your own ass, you dumb motherfuckers. On review aggregate site Metacritic, Wukong has a solid 81 out of 100 score for its PC version, while the PS5 version has received a more paltry 76 out of 100. Again, who is reviewing it? Biased individuals that are upset that the company didn't allow these, what are they called? These consultation companies to come in. You're upset that Game Science didn't allow, Sweet Baby Inc. or Gay Black Girl Gamers or Gamer X or whoever to come in and muck up your game. Yeah, obviously, when you're in the pocket of these businesses, obviously when you're in bed with these businesses, and there's a company that actually values video gaming, and they're not going to give your buddies their way, you're going to throw some shade. And you threw that shade in the way of giving this game mixed to poor reviews, and the gamers rejected you. And you are so pissed off about the power the gamers have that you want to say, well, We're the end-all be-all. We're the experts. We're the ones that know what we're talking about when it comes to gaming. I mean, how dare the actual fans have a fucking say in the Game Awards, which, again, the Game Awards don't matter, but your reaction to the fact that gamers are getting what they want is very telling. As a whole, this puts it as the 112th best reviewed game of 2024 on Metacritic and is well behind the likes of Tekken 8, which was a 90 out of 100 aggregate score, Animal Well, who the fuck's even heard of Animal Well, 91 out of 100, and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, 89 out of 100. I mean, fair enough. I'm sure Like a Dragon had an excellent score. That doesn't mean it punctuated into the public zeitgeist in a way that Black Myth Wukong did. There's a lot of great French films out there that have got very high reviews, but you pop one on for your family movie night, and it's not gonna garner a lot of attention because it's not made for that sort of mainstream audience. Black Myth Wukong, on the other hand, clearly spoke to just about everybody that actually played it. Looking outside of 2024 alone, what proves further that Black Myth Wukong likely shouldn't have been given the Game of the Year nod, the Game Awards, is that it's the worst reviewed game. You say looking outside of 2024, but you're just making the same point. You're just adding years. You're just adding the timeline. You're effectively moving the goalposts. It's such a shitty argument. It's also a poor argument. Since the Game Awards started in 2014, the 81 out of 100 aggregate review score for Black Myth Wukong is the lowest that has ever been seen for a title in the running for Game of the Year. Previous lows were seen with Death Stranding in 2019 and Plague Tale Requiem 2022, which each received aggregate scores of 82. Last I checked, critics and fans alike loved Death Stranding. Now, me personally, I'm not a Death Stranding fan. I don't understand the deification of Kojima, but whatever, I digress. I'll get flamed for that in the comments later. The point is, oh no, these games got an 82. So what, did they qualify? Do you think these games didn't qualify? What's the cutoff? 82 is fine, but an 81, that's where we draw the line. That's the hard cutoff number. You stupid, I don't say all this to try and discredit Black Myth Wukong whatsoever. You do, though. You absolutely do. They spend the rest of the article, which I think is literally just this paragraph, trying to defend their position, trying to say, look, Black Myth Wukong is not a bad game, it just doesn't deserve Game of the Year. Well, the last I checked, 20 million people the world over, and it being the highest concurrent single-player game on Steam of all time, kinda goes against your logic. But again, it's not about logic. It is all about emotion and access with you. It's all about the ideological bend. The game doesn't have black people in it because it's fucking ancient China. The game doesn't have lesbians in it. To my knowledge. Frankly, some of those, female, spider characters and whatnot were... I mean, they could go either way, but to be fair, there's also, Black Widows eat their husbands. That's neither here nor there. The point is, the game didn't bow and kowtow to your buddies in the consultation industry. The game didn't bow and kowtow to you faux game journalists that are really just masquerading as game journalists when you're actually political activists. No, the game set out to do one thing and one thing only, which is please gamers, and it succeeded in that. And as an industry that actually hates gamers, and you thrive and only continue to exist by pissing off real gamers, it burns you up to know that the Game Awards, as worthless as they may be, actually in some way, shape, or form, did listen to the fans. But those are just my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X, where you can find me at Bolt the Word. And please do subscribe. I am a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. Not always about the gaming industry, but anime, movies, music, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check me out on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon and become a member for $4.99 a month. You can join the Discord, choose the articles I go over on a day-to-day basis, choose the videos I react to on my Friday night live streams, and of course, get involved with over 140 other vital idols. We are a bright, beautiful, glowing, vibrant community that I cannot wait to grow even further because we do care about diversity, but only one kind of diversity of thought. If that's interesting to you, join the Discord, hit subscribe, and until next time, it is all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.